So I'm going to talk, I probably start with so every time. We're going to talk a little bit about, well, I said before that I put up an inspirational video at work every day. This week's theme has been human innovation. The things that, and it really has, I'm having a hard time finding videos that aren't about the things we've invented. Like there was what's the tallest building we can build, and what are the 15 greatest inventions? What are the 15 inventions that were invented because of mistakes? And they're all physical objects, but I've been looking for a video, and since I can't find it, I'll make my own, about the things that humans have created that aren't like physical, tangible things, but other things that are important to us as people. And these are things, I'm not going to name them, I won't be able to name everything, but things like the concept of exchange. I'm going to give you something in exchange for something else you'll give me. No other species does this kind of like exchange. There are some species who give each other the same type of thing, like here the chimpanzees that borrow tools and that kind of thing from each other. But the idea that I can give you a dozen eggs and you'll give me a block of cheese, that has been one of the inventions that has brought humans to this level of society, which I think is a great thing. The concept of story, I started with thinking about like language and communication and recording our history, which to my mind, we can time travel. We just go back in time, and we do it through books and through recordings of like this kind of recording. Like, this is crazy. I'm storytelling. Like I've told stories, or I hear stories about my grandparents and my great-grandparents. My great-grandfather was both a dentist and a sheriff. So I get to hear those stories. With recordings like this, this will, in some way, possibly live forever on the internet. My great-grandkids will be able to find me talking into this silly phone, and they get to laugh at my history. What they should not do is look into my internet browsing history. That's a mistake. Please don't do that. But recordings of this, they get to know me a little bit through these recordings. So the idea of passing stories down through or up, I guess, through our ancestors to our descendants is a concept that I think we've invented, that is a sign of our innovation, one of our greater advancements as a species. The scientific method, the idea that we're going to try something, and I don't think we're alone in this. I think there's evidence that you'll find that crows do this kind of thing. Well, they'll try something to see if it works, and if it doesn't work, they'll try something else. Octopus and other species that does this. We may take it to, again, a higher degree because we've added it to our ability to record information through time. But I think experimentation, the scientific method, another great achievement that we've made. Oh boy, what else? Agriculture and just planting seeds and then like farming the land or milling the land, as opposed to moving from place to place to find food. Now instead being able to use science, or what we understood to be science at the time, because it is science, to plant food and then stay there until it comes back up again and then eat from what we planted. Those, if you have other ideas of what those things that we've created, I had married this in my head to the I see too often on people's Facebook posts, this kind of thing, that we've got too many people on the planet, we can't sustain this many people, yada yada yada. It's a trope that seems to has gotten ingrained in a certain sect of the population, which I very much think is misplaced or misunderstood, really wrong. If you side with Thanos, you're not siding with me, kind of thing. We have, back in the 1800s, there was the idea that, oh my gosh, we're running out of whales. Where are we going to find enough whale blubber to make all the whale oil to light all the lanterns that we have lighting our streets? We're going to be whaling ourselves into darkness. Then Edison came along and invented the light bulb, and we harnessed electricity, and we're like, oh, I guess we'll be okay. And I very much think that we're in the same position today with the people who think that, oh, we can't feed 7 billion people. Well, that's not really true. We're doing it wrong. We can find better ways to do it. There are farmers out there who have figured out, hey, you know what, if we treat the land in an ecosystem, as opposed to we'll grow wheat over here, and way on this side of the country we'll have geese, and then someone's like, well, what if we put geese where we make where we plant the wheat or the fruit trees, and that way the geese's droppings will feed the fruit trees, and we've got a nice little ecosystem going. So instead of like having to truck the chickens or geese from one side of the country to wherever the wheat is. If everyone just did a smaller amount and put it all together in a balanced ecosystem, you wouldn't have to have all the transportation costs, and you create better food. I've talked before about the obesity epidemic in the country is, to my mind, because there's no food in the food, right? There's not enough nutrients. Our bodies are saying we need more because we're not getting all the nutrients that we need. We're not getting the vitamins. We're not getting the minerals. So eat more. And then we're packing in all this food that has a whole bunch of extra stuff that we don't really need, but we hold on to it while we're packing in more food trying to get all the nutrients. Anyways, better growing methods will mean we'll have enough food. Better electricity systems instead of using fossil fuels, which is going to get us to the next part. But I think there will come a day where we'll realize we can do without fossil fuels if we tap geomagnetic energy, we tap tidal energy, if we tap geothermal. There are other ways to generate electricity besides burning oil. I don't think we're there yet, and I wouldn't jump right into solar or wind. I don't think either one of those have proven to be as cost beneficial as what we have now. But anyways, we could certainly pollute the planet less. We can come up with better plastics that actually do biodegrade. We'll invent our way into our population. It's not that our resources are limited. We've got, that's not true. There is a finite amount of resources, but we're not even anywhere close to where that is. We're just not using it right. And so if you feel like you're a person who thinks, no, we've got too many people on the planet, just jump into Steve Rogers' camp. We don't trade lives for lives. Like, we'll find a way. We just got to be smarter about it. We'll, as Tony Stark says, we'll cut the wire. Man, I'm doing a lot of Avengers references today. That's because I watch a lot of the tribute videos when I'm on the elliptical machine in the morning. Anyways, so just to say, we as a species invented a lot of great things, not just physical things, but social interactions that I think have changed, that have made us the species that we are. And there's probably more to create, and it'll get us over that, past that mindset of, we only have so many resources, so we therefore need to start culling the population. I mean, taken to its logical conclusion, what do? You start genociding? You start passing the one child per family type things that China did? That was a huge mistake on their part, right? They're regretting it now. Those policies will never work. You're limiting the population, or you're getting rid of some of the minds that are going to help you solve the problem that, as we see it, we're not using resources correctly. Okay, I did get through it all by the time I get to work. Pretty good. All right, peace. Be good. Don't stop believing. Don't stop.